Welcome to Sacred Wandering with Keira. My friend, this is a corner of the world where time stops, where the noise in our minds quiet, where we have soft hearts and we open our palms and we ask. This is a place where we receive. I invite you to join me as we wander through the sacred together. Welcome to Sacred Wandering. Good morning, my love. Let's just take a nice breath in together. And let's breathe it all the way down to the tips of our toes. Cleaning, cleansing, clearing our system all the way out. Let's do that again. We're going to let go of anyone's energy that we might be carrying or feeling as though we must hold it for them. We're going to let it drop all the way out through the soles of our feet, allowing it to go into the earth, allowing it to move with the earth, allowing it to breathe in the healing transformation that happens within the soil of the ground. We're going to breathe in the light again. We're going to allow this light to move down through us. And this time we're going to ask for any unbelief, any fear, any doubt that is plaguing our cells, our soul, our mind, our bodies, that they will disintegrate within the presence of divinity. For when in the presence of God, these things cannot exist. We're going to call on all of our angels and all of our guides and in through the divine light that they may come and sit with us. And if you know who you work with, call them in by name. I always call on Moses, Joan of Arc, Christ. The Divine Mother, Mary Magdalene, Thecla, Nephi. These are some of my angels that I call in. These are leaders, prophetesses, prophets, disruptors of systems, disruptors of time, those who came to change the waves. And I ask them to sit with me. One, so that I don't walk alone, and two, so that any wisdom they have to impart upon me, I receive. And then we're just going to do a quick cleansing on the body. We're going to ask that divine light will touch our ears, our third eyes, our lips, our throats, our hearts, so that we may hear God, so that we may claim our gifts, so that we may speak the words in which we choose to build, so that we may see ourselves as God sees us, so that we may love without condition. Today I'm going to read to you a message that I received recently as I'm deep in this book called The Biology of Belief. And God is showing me new forms of transfiguration, ones that I am participating in right now as we speak, that most likely will actually go into my book, Transfiguration, which luckily hasn't published yet. So it seems as though this is a new iteration, and it's a deeper one. So as I was deep in learning this with God and reading this book, and as I'm reading this book, God is showing me things real time. This was a message I received. Generations above you created these plagues you are healing. Focus on the light. Bring light to your children's cells. Clear this out with light. And I received that message the day that I began to read The Biology of Belief. And all of a sudden, in the very first 30 minutes of this book, all of a sudden God just started to show me these new ways of healing out the generational patterns that are stuck within our DNA codes and our DNA lineages that go from above us, that created the plagues of our life, the plague of not enough, the plague of abuse, the plague of fear, the plague of doubt, like all of these plagues that actually run our systems that we never opted in for. They simply were born with us. And there's this vision that God keeps showing me around healing the DNA strands within the body. And so to receive this message on that day was just a second witness for me. And that is how I feel these blessings are. They are second witnesses to what we know, or they are reminders, or they are activators, because most humans do nothing other than survive. And there are the few who listen. There are the few who are willing to do something different. There are the few who are willing to break the patterns because they ask. This is the key. It is central to everything. And so today, as we go in to prayer, we do what we do every single day, which is we ask. And it is the precision of the ask that is the magnet to the result that we seek. And so we're going to ask precisely for something today. And I'm going to leave that up to you. There's a question that you need. There is something that you are seeking. Whatever that is, I'm going to invite you to pick it up with the palms of your hands, and you're going to put it directly into God. And we are going to ask that God will transfigure this to be clear, that you may have clarity, that you may see, that you may understand. We're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, allow that question to leave your body, that burden to leave your body. And then we're going to ask for the blessing of mercy to wash over us, for the blessing of mercy meets us where we fall short. And then we ask that God may touch our cells down to the very atoms within us, that they will remember God, that they will remember divine true blueprints, and that they may move to match it. And then we're going to ask in this energy for God to place his hands on our heads to give us a blessing, that we may receive the words that God has for us. And I'm going to be quiet while you pray. Take a nice deep breath in and out. We're going to open our palms and we ask that God will show us what is the most important thing that needs to come through today. We're going to listen. We're going to receive. We ask that our angels will help us take this action, that our feet may be washed of all the old, that we may step forward as the being that we came here to be. We ask that the veil of remembrance may be lifted. so that we may see, so that we may remember, and so that we may be. And with that, I thank you for wandering into the sacred with me. And I will see you tomorrow morning, right here in our prayer corner. Thank you, my love, for wandering into the sacred with me today. It is always an honor to hold this space for thousands of us to gather daily in sacred devotion. If you feel called to deepen this practice and join me live, I invite you to be a part of the Sacred Wandering Circle, a private, intimate space where we share our daily blessings in a Facebook group and gather once a month for a live 1-hour session. We come together to bless the body, to pray, and to receive. There is so much power when we unite with others who hold the sacred sacred. If your heart is nudging you, you can find the link in the show notes. And remember, you don't need anyone to help you hear God. You are the conduit. God speaks directly to you. And your prayer corner, it lives within you always.